Oh yeah, I'm finally back. Yes, that's right, I have returned from the glorious land of Japan, and my trip was truly amazing. Though, you may be asking, what's on your jacket, Kingu? Why are you wearing such a strange and shiny piece of clothing? Well, this is something that I got in Japan, quite possibly the most expensive and coolest thing I got in Japan. But what's the F for? What's so cool about a jacket with a big F on it? Here, I'll show you. What do you think? Pretty cool, huh?
Oh, this old thing, this is just my new jacket.
Sorry, I must have had something in my throat. But yeah, this is my new sukajan, which is essentially meaning souvenir jacket. And what it is are these really cool baseball jacket inspired jackets from Yokosuka, which is like a harbor sort of area. It's a very old school style piece of clothing. You've probably seen them before. They've gotten really popular, and over the years they've just gotten crazier and crazier. They're very popular for their embroidery, of which this has really great embroidery. This thing looks amazing. This one, you can tell, is absolutely beautiful. This is all embroidered on here, and I gotta tell you, it looks so much better in person. I fell in love with this at the shop. And this one's even reversible. It even has some text inside on the back if you wore it inside out, and it's pretty cool. And that's just one of the many fashion items I bought in Japan. I bought tons of clothing. That's the most that I got. I didn't really buy any figures, so I'm sorry to inform you of that, but yeah, that was pretty damn cool. But hello everybody, it feels great to be back. Today's video is just going to be me going over some of the things I got in Japan and talking about plans. I bought all kinds of crazy stuff in Japan, but right now I think it's more important for me to show you the things that I won. Yeah, I spent a lot of time in arcades, and unfortunately, I didn't really have the setup to film while I was in arcades. I don't know if you've ever been to Japan, but it's a very crowded place, and arcades so much more so crowded because there's machines everywhere and people trying to use them, and hallways between these machines are usually about big enough to fit 1.5 people, so a lot of times you're shimmying around a guy and trying not to rub your junk against him. So it was hard to film, but I did film one thing that I won, so let's go over some of the stuff I won. While I was in Japan, a typhoon hit, and it was a pretty big deal, and unfortunately, it actually kept me from going to Kyoto a day sooner than I would have, and I had to stay in Tokyo while the typhoon had ravaged the area, and they were still waiting for the trains to come back. So while I was waiting for the trains to come back up, I actually took a walk down to Akihabara, which was only a 10-minute walk from Asakusabashi, which was great because nothing was open during this typhoon situation. Everything was closed, and it was really scary, and yeah, it was really rainy too. So I found one arcade was actually open, and I went in there, and I won this. If you're not familiar, this is one of the main characters from Sarazanmai. He's a kappa. This is, of course, when he gets transformed into a kappa. The tag here is, of course, Sarazanmai. And yeah, this is an official piece of merch. He even has a little shell on the back, the little plate dish on the top of his head, which, of course, you have to keep wet for a kappa. But yeah, this is adorable. I was so happy to see this in a machine because Sarazanmai is a little old now. It's been out for a couple of months, and I didn't expect anybody to be giving it any love still, but I was surprised to see a lot of merch of Sarazanmai, and of course, I couldn't help but try to win him, and this is the one thing that I filmed myself winning. Oh, you already know what's about to happen. Kiddo. Yatta! Kiddo. So there you go. That shows that I do actually have the ability to win these things, and he cost me quite a few bit of 100 yen coins to win, but once I did, I actually learned quite a bit about the style of arcade machine he was in, so I thank you, kiddo. Now, that's not even the first thing I won. I went over to an arcade after I had visited Sanrio Purorando with a couple friends, and then on the way back, there was an arcade of which we went into. I won my friend a little cinnamon roll bag, and I won this guy, which was supposed to fit around a cup, but unfortunately, he just does not. These things are kind of a big deal right now in Japan. A lot of people seem to be making these little Velcro cup holder things. They just wrap around your cup, and I suppose it's nice because they would keep you from burning your hands, but they don't fit around my giant hamburger Yeti cup, or the one that is of the person who I got this for, so sorry. What's even worse is I guess that means the one that I got at Lawson of Kirby will not fit around my cup either. Yeah, it would seem that Lawson has a little Kirby collaboration going on right now. And that meant that they had that little cup holder, they had a clear file, of course, because they make clear files for everything, and these little bags. These are actually really, really cute. If you can see them in there, there's a couple different bags, and they're of Kirby, of course, and they're just little Ziploc bags, so that's nice. But I didn't win those, I bought those. The little capo one I did win, though. Speaking of Kirby, I won this. After a bunch of tries, I had given up, but then finally I came back to the machine when this guy was watching me, and I was like, pew, brrr, and then it bounced into the hole, and the person was like, oh, sugoi, oh, first try? And I'm like, yeah, first try. And the only problem was I didn't win Waddle Dee. These are from a little set where there's actually also, in addition to Kirby, a little Waddle Dee sleeping as well. And there's also a sitting up Kirby sleeping, but I like the laying down Kirby better. Plus, I think he was probably easier to win. Though, I didn't win Waddle Dee, and Waddle Dee is really cute. And I kind of wanted it because of this little fuzzy aesthetic. They're so cute. But speaking of Kirby sleeping, let's get to one of the big ones. I won this gigantic Kirby. And thankfully, they vacuum packed them so that they were incredibly flat. Because, as you'll see in a moment, this thing is big. Free him! I'm actually kind of shocked that it didn't blow up faster. But it is happening. I guess I just gotta jostle him around a little bit. It almost feels like they took some of the stuffing out of him. It's my little Kirby. I got two sleeping Kirbys. This one is incredibly plush. It's almost like too plush. I feel like it needs more stuffing to be a little bit more firm, because you can just blast this thing in the face and it just flattens. But how cute is that? He wasn't that hard to win either. I have a serious issue when it comes to plushes. At the same arcade that I won Kirby, I won the Choco Ball mascot. Not sure if you've ever had Choco Ball, but give me a second, I'll grab him. Oh yeah, so this is Choco Ball, or Choco-kun, or whatever the hell his name is. I think someone told me his name was Choco-kun, some guy I met. But yeah, this is the mascot. He's just the mascot for Choco Ball, which is this really tasty Japanese candy. They're these little things. And they're pretty darn good. There's a ton of different flavors. This one here is actually just like chocolate-covered peanut. Peanutsu. Peanuts. And that's really all they are. Just little chocolate-covered peanuts. Well, these ones, there's a bunch of different flavors. There's caramel. There was like coffee flavor. I have a pack of grape flavor, which is really weird because I thought these were chocolate, but I suppose not. That's our boy Choco-kun. At the same arcade by Purorando that I won the little Sumiko Gurashi cup holder, I also won this. And I love this because I really like Pom Pom Pudding. This was amplified, of course, when I went to Japan because Pom Pom Pudding is just so damn adorable. I already thought he was really cute, and he even comes complete with a little butt. And yeah, this guy, he's just so cute. I'm sure you've seen him. He is a Sanrio character, and I love him. He's got a little mustache here because this is a Halloween version of Pom Pom Pudding. And yeah, this was right down the street from Puroran, so very, very effective marketing there. Now also of Pom Pom Pudding, I won this. On one of the last days I was in Japan, I won this amazing pancake, complete with butter and a Pom Pom Pudding holding many pancakes on it. That is truly amazing, and this thing is so soft, and it's even got Pom Pom Pudding and his paw print on the back because he is actually a pudding dog. He's a dog made of pudding, I think, but that's besides the point. This pancake, look at this thing. I just want to eat it, but it's just really, again, squishy, plush, and I love it. It's just so damn cute. And this was one of the things that I really wanted to win when I first saw it, and I didn't win it until like one of the last days I was in Japan. And at the same arcade, there was only like a very few amount of these left. It actually was marked as the last ones in the machine. And I was like, give me the penguin. I want to win penguin. Pengi-san. And he said, oh, you want penguin? And I said, yeah, give me that penguin. It's actually penguin with a question mark because they don't know if he's a kappa or a penguin. But they insist that he is a penguin. And of course, he is also from Sumiko Gurashi. I won this as well when it was storming in Akihabara. Okay, so maybe going to Akihabara during a typhoon was a bad idea, but I won prizes, so who cares? This is Kirby, and one of his little friends. This is actually a bird, and this bird is holding Kirby and flying around. And Kirby's just like, hi, oh, where are we going? And he's flying around under the bird. He's being held by the bird, but doesn't quite look like it. There's actually a couple different ones in this series. There was this one, and then one of him and that big fish. And that big old fish. But here's the tag. It's like Poo Poo Friends or something like that. It's pretty cute. But yeah, I wasn't even really trying. I won this in, I think, 2 tries. And the people next to me, like, were trying a million times to win one of the prizes nearby. And they were just like, oh, sugoi. And I was just like, yeah, sugoi. America Jin so cool, so kakoi, so kawaii. And they were like, get out of my country. Oh, this guy. This one was really dumb, but I've had 2 hedgehogs in my life, and they're wonderful animals. I love them. They're so cute. I saw this cute little claw machine that had these hedgehogs in it, and there's a couple different colors, but I had to get this little yellow one. This little yellow one, complete with a flower crown, is so damn cute. It's just look at it. I mean, how precious is this thing? It's so adorable. And yeah, I was just like, hey, can you put the yellow one in there? And he's like, oh, hi. And I was like, thank you. Or I actually called it gold because I didn't know the word for yellow. So I was like, oh, kin, onegaishimasu. And he was like, oh, kin, hi. And he put it in there. And I won it in 1 try. Brrr, pa. And it was a really weird claw machine too. I wish I would have taken footage of it because it was really weird, really different. Finally, as far as plushes go, there's still figures. I won this big old beast, and he was actually really difficult. I don't know what this thing is. It looks kind of like a tadpole to me. That's his tongue, and he's like, and he's really cute and soft and squishy, and he's got a little tail. This is what leads me to believe he is a tadpole. And the tag, I haven't bothered reading. It's like, oh, basically it says like giant salamander on the tag. My translation may be a bit off, but yeah, this is a big old salamander baby boy. He's adorable though. Look at this thing. I saw it and I was just like, what is that? It's so cute. And it's just one of those things I think that like an artist on Twitter made this cute thing and then they were like, oh, let's make some plushes and throw them into arcade machines. Because there's been a couple things that have gotten that kind of success off of just being successful artists. But that's all my plushes, and that's a lot of stuff. So with the plushes out of the way, let's get into some figures, because I won some serious stuff here. Now, I will spoil you right now and tell you that I did get the Taito Game Station Hatsune Miku version 2. The only problem is that this figure was not in any machine. So I wound up going into the shops and I found this figure for pretty cheap. So I wound up purchasing her, and I was really upset to have to buy her because I really wanted to win her like I did the first one. But firstly, there's a lot fewer Taito arcades. There are many less Taito arcades than there were before. The one that I used to go to that I won the first Miku figure from, I actually went to it and it was an Adores or Adores or Adores, whatever the hell it's called. It was now transferred into one of those, and it makes me wonder if they like closed a bunch of Taito arcades and reopened them with a new company buying some of the old locations. But still, I wound up finding her and purchasing her. But it's not to say as if I couldn't win her, because I won a couple figures. The first being this beaten box of Android 18. Android 18, as many of you probably similarly share with me, was my first anime crush besides Jessie from Pokemon. I was like in love with Android 18. And to this day, Android 18 she's one of those characters, you know? I'm just gonna say, I mean, there's some good artists out there that draw some nice pictures of her. But yeah, I won this in quite a fair few amount of tries. It took me a little while to get her, but I had her so close that I was like, there's no way I'm giving her up now. And I did win her, and this thing is kind of heavy, so I'm excited to see what it's like in there. And additionally, ooh, yeah, I won this gigantic Bowser figure. This thing is absolutely huge, and the machine that it was in was actually pretty challenging and more than likely rather rigged. It was in this thing where there were 2 arms beneath it holding it, and a light was going in a circle, and you had to hit a button at the precise moment for it to stop where the actual arm was. And you had to do that twice to win this. So if I walked away, they were likely going to reset it, or someone was going to try to come in and snipe it. So some girl who couldn't get it at all walked away, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna try this thing. I probably spent maybe like $15 trying to win this, which is fair because I've seen him sold for like 40 or 50. And yeah, it's Bowser. So I want it. I can say that I want it. This thing was a pain in the butt to get home because he was so big and there was no way I was shipping another package home because I had to do that already. Let me just spoil it for you. I sent 2 of these boxes home, and that was like $100 a piece to send home, not including what I purchased inside of it. So there was a lot of money invested in bringing stuff home. Oh, and I almost forgot to show you before I show you the last thing. I won this Kirby bag. Yeah, really cool. A little backpack with lots of little Kirby images on it. It's folded in half. This guy was staring at me the whole time because he was one of those old guys that go to the store and just win all the things that people have failed to win but have moved enough for him to win. And he was getting ready to snipe it if I walked away from it. So I spent quite a couple dollars trying to win this, but I did win it, and it's mine now. So, you know, your boy won that. The last thing that I won was not something that I won from a game of skill. It's actually from a game of chance. I won it at a lottery, which you may be familiar with. It's called Ichiban Kuji. If you go to any 7-Eleven, you will find that there's a couple different promotions that they have running from different series, of which there are many lettered grade prizes. This will start at A, and it will go from A down to like F. There will be 100 F prizes, not 100, but there will be a ton of F prizes, a ton of C and D and E, but from what I could tell, there was only one of A, B, and C. And I paid 700 yen, so roughly about $7, and I got a ticket, and he gave me a box to fiddle around in. I went in and I tickled the tickets and grabbed out the B prize. So I still actually have the ticket somewhere, but yeah, I won the B prize, and the B prize was Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta from Dragon Ball Z Super, the Broly movie. This is pretty darn nice, and honestly, I'm reluctant to open it because it's worth quite a few dollars, but to be honest, I'm not as big into Super as I am into Z, but this was such a cool experience to win this in one try. So the guys at the convenience store were all just like, oh, sugoi, oh, omedetou, and they were all cheering me on and stuff. And I was like, hell yeah, and I ran home in the rain. So yeah, that's pretty much everything that I can remember winning. I don't know if there's anything else packed in one of these bags, but yeah, this is most of it. So if you did like this video, make sure to leave it a like and tell me what you think of me winning all this stuff. Am I an idiot for spending so much money and bringing home all this crap? Or do you think it's cool? Go ahead and drop a comment. Welcome me back home. And yeah, if you haven't seen the video I'm going to link, it's going to be the first Hatsune Miku figure that I reviewed from that series. Make sure to go check it out. Even if you've already seen it, go click that link and watch it because it helps the channel. There's going to be tons more videos now that I'm back home. I'm getting back to my normal grind of making stuff, so please stay tuned for that and expect more videos this week. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Keep on gaming and hooking on, boys.